Most people think wealth starts when you become a millionaire, but in America, wealth isn't just about having money, it's about how much stress money removes from your life. The difference between being broke and being wealthy isn't just the size of a bank account. It changes where you live, how you think, how you spend time, even how long you can survive if your paycheck suddenly disappears. And once you start looking closely, you realize something uncomfortable. Every level of wealth plays by completely different rules. At the lowest level are people living paycheck to paycheck. This is where millions of Americans exist today, even some earning decent salaries. At this stage, money is survival. Rent, groceries, gas, credit card payments, maybe student loans. One unexpected medical bill or car repair can create a financial disaster. Many people here rely heavily on credit, which slowly traps them inside high-interest debt cycles that damage FICO scores and make borrowing even more expensive. Financial decisions become emotional because there's no room for mistakes. Time is traded directly for money, and savings accounts usually stay close to zero. Then comes the working and middle-class level, where people finally start creating small financial cushions. This is where emergency funds begin. Retirement accounts like a 401k become important, and home ownership becomes possible. But this stage is often more fragile than it looks. Someone earning a six-figure salary in cities like New York, Los Angeles, or San Francisco may still feel financially stressed because lifestyle inflation quietly grows alongside income. Bigger apartment, better car, more subscriptions, more debt. On paper, income looks impressive. In reality, many households still depend entirely on monthly paychecks to maintain their lifestyle. The next level is upper middle-class wealth, where money starts buying stability instead of just survival. At this stage, people usually own appreciating assets. Investments begin compounding. Stock portfolios grow quietly in the background. High-yield savings accounts, index funds, real estate, and retirement accounts become powerful wealth-building tools. These individuals are less dependent on one paycheck because they've started building systems that generate financial resilience. They understand taxes better. They think about the IRS strategically. And most importantly, they begin learning that true wealth is often hidden, not displayed. Then you enter millionaire territory, which sounds glamorous until you realize most millionaires don't actually live like celebrities. In America, a millionaire is often someone who spent decades investing consistently, maxing out retirement accounts, owning property, and allowing compound interest to work slowly over time. Many millionaires still drive normal cars, live in ordinary neighborhoods, and avoid flashy spending. That's because real wealth usually behaves quietly. Rich-looking and wealthy are not the same thing. One buys luxury to appear successful. The other buys assets that continue producing income long after the work stops. Above that level are multimillionaires and the ultra-wealthy. This is where the financial game changes completely. Wealth stops being tied to labor and becomes tied to ownership. Businesses, private equity, commercial real estate, stocks, and tax structures dominate this world. The ultra-wealthy often borrow against assets instead of selling them, allowing them to preserve investments while avoiding massive taxable events. At this level, access becomes more valuable than income. Access to elite networks, access to better investments, access to financial strategies unavailable to ordinary people. Money no longer solves monthly problems, it shapes entire systems. And finally, there's billionaire-level wealth. This isn't just personal finance anymore, it's influence. Billionaires can move markets, fund political campaigns, buy media companies, and reshape industries. Their wealth often exists mostly on paper through ownership stakes in companies rather than cash sitting inside bank accounts. Ironically, many billionaires experience huge swings in net worth daily without changing their lifestyle at all. A stock price drops, and billions disappear temporarily. But the system around them remains intact because their real power comes from ownership and leverage. What makes all of this fascinating is that every wealth level sees money differently. A person struggling financially sees money as security. The middle class sees it as stability. Millionaires see it as freedom. Billionaires see it as influence. And that's why conversations about wealth in America often feel disconnected. People aren't arguing from the same financial reality. They're living inside entirely different systems with completely different risks, incentives, and opportunities. At the end of the day, wealth isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how long your money can protect your lifestyle without needing your constant labor. Because the moment money starts working harder than you do, the rules begin to change. And once you understand how each level of wealth actually operates, you start realizing the biggest financial divide in America isn't income, it's ownership.